Welcome everyone to Klawd Talks. This is going to be the sixth episode with Madalina Turlea. Madalina is a product leader with 10 years of experience across fintechs, payments, and SaaS. She has led AI product development in high regulated environments. Madalina is a co founder of Lovelaice, which is an AI experimentation platform that helps product teams test and validate AI features. So, welcome Madalina once again to Klawd Talks. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Emad. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to delve
Yeah.
into.
So, yes, can you give us a walkthrough of your career? How did it start and what's your journey been like?
Yeah, sure. So my background is in finance, and I started my tech journey by joining a fintech. I made my move to product shortly after that, and yeah, I've been in the space since. I've worked on multiple products in the fintech space, particularly around trading, investment, risk management, and payments in both B2B SaaS as well as platform products. And yeah, once I kind of started uncovering the AI product building. I wanted to understand more what what can we do as product leaders, product managers with this, and how does it change the product building process and life cycle. And yeah, I joined that time a startup in AI fintech. And I was quite unsure how to approach the technology. I was also not confident in kind of how it was being approached in general. I couldn't really find like best practices. So I wanted to understand exactly how can I get the most out of this. I started building my own methodology of testing and experimenting with the technology. My now co-founder was on a similar journey. We started exchanging ideas and build this methodology of evaluating, testing systematically AI and building confidence in the AI features. And that was the origin story of Lovelaice.
Great. I think you have spent a lot of time as product manager. During your tenure, I think you have seen the pre-AI era too as a product manager and the post-AI era too. Was AI a matter of discussion as product managers? What were your thoughts on when AI was emerging as an idea, as a concept? What were product managers thinking?
I think, as it first started, I guess I've actually been building machine learning and AI products before LLMs, but that was much more engineering, a very data science led process. Once Gen AI products have started emerging, as a product manager, the first use case of that is your own productivity. I also started using it in research and writing, and then later on prototyping and moving kind of to the AI stack. I think a lot of product managers are in this space where they're heavily into trying to uncover what AI potential has in bringing additional productivity and gains into their existing product management process. Where it comes to AI product building, like actually bringing AI into your product, building LLM based features into your own product, I feel like here there isn't quite yet a common understanding or yet the full visibility of what is possible and how you can apply it. So that part for myself, I kind of had to discover it, and I've built this methodology that I'm now applying to our own product, and I'm also teaching other product managers how to do it. But I think we're still in the early stages here. There are very few teams still today that are actively looking into how to bring AI into their own product.
Great. I think a pattern that I've noticed in individuals who have spent 10 plus years in their respective fields, you as a product manager, some people spend a lot of time in marketing. So they have options of going for a lucrative career. They can get high salary packages, they can get a good career trajectory. And taking that decision of starting a new process, testing a new idea with Lovelace. How was that? Can you walk me through that feeling? Can you walk me through that journey? How was that decision making process in your mind at the time?
It was quite cool because it never started like, oh, I'm gonna build a product out of this. It just started as, I have this opportunity of building this new type of product. There's this new technology where I feel like it's gonna have a massive impact on the role and in the space in tech, but not only. And how can I build confidence in this? Like, what do I need to rethink? So it started initially from this curiosity, and then starting exchanging ideas with my co-founder as well. And her background is in tech. She's an ex-founder and ex-CDO. So it was interesting to see her approach as well and her view as well. And we said, you know what, like, let's try to build this for our own or work. Like, she was using it in her own work. I was using it in mine. And then somewhere along the line, we were like, you know what, there's no other tool that actually supports product managers the way we wanted and the way we uncovered it. And yeah, after just testing it out, we said, you know what, like, let's go full speed on this, because we really believe that after applying it on several projects, we really saw the difference. So yeah.
How long it's been since you started Lovelace, and what's the scale that we are operating at right now at the moment?
So we started officially fully October of last year, and the product is live, and we are now running pilots with customers.
Okay, so can you walk me through a typical sales conversation that you have with your customer? What are some objections that they give? What is the approach that you take? Because most of our viewers are coming from a sales background. They want to understand how founder-led sales work and how founders approach sales process. So, yeah.
Yeah, this has been a new area for me to uncover as well, and it's something that we're working on. We're lucky to have a third co-founder whose background is in B2B sales, so it has been enormous help. But given the space we're in and the value proposition of Lovelace, we see some haven't started the AI journey because they don't really know, are somewhere in the prototyping space, and it's still a very wide range of setups in teams when it comes to building AI products. A lot of the sales discussions actually start as discovering. Like, we're looking to see how product leaders and product teams are approaching and are thinking about AI product building. And we've spent a lot of the time validating our hypothesis and the pain points that we've experienced and that we've also seen in the products that we've worked on directly. And we're trying to validate those across the scene. And with that, then it becomes very natural where you hear these challenges that product teams have, like, we've built this prototype but we're not really sure how it's working, we're waiting for users to give thumbs up, thumbs down on their AI feature, but that doesn't happen much, or the feature didn't get much adoption or traction and we don't really know, we don't really have visibility. So then starting from these challenges is very easy to position Lovelace and, like, here's how you could solve this, here's how you could better approach this process, and what we've seen working, what could be a process that is systematic and that you can apply not just for this one use case, but for every AI feature that you're thinking of.
What are your thoughts on a school of thought that says AI is still just noise? Like every product is adding AI power to them. So, what, in your opinion, do you think that AI is improving products substantially at the moment, or AI is still a buzzword for products specifically?
Yeah. Um, for me, I'm really a big believer in the technology, and I do believe that it's going to dramatically change the way we build products, and because it already has changed the expectations of the users. We're seeing very fast in B2C, but I think B2B will get up there very fast. If we're thinking about one of the use cases, I guess that where I really think AI could shine is what I call this infinite personalization. If you think today it's amazing products like Netflix with their recommendation system that is, of course, machine learning based, in which they invested millions and years of engineering work and testing, but it works at a scale where there was this study that was made where you start off three users with kind of the same default view of Netflix. And as you watch and you kind of select what you want and you give feedback, within a week, the application looks completely different. Everyone is seeing different types of visuals, different rankings, and all of that. And that has taken such great investment. And I feel like AI has the power to bring that to teams with much less investment. And you can deeply personalize, which has been something that, as product people, we have tried to solve this for a long time. And now you could do that at scale. Like you could build for every type of user in your application without doing the usual trade-offs that you do. The reach is a very important attribute when you prioritize features in your product as a product manager. Of course, a feature that impacts a bigger pool of the customers or those that are most important are always going to take precedence over the 1%. But I think AI can start building this, and we're seeing with Klawd Code, everyone is building kind of their own assistant, and they're raving about it. So that's why I'm quite confident, bullish on this and the impact that we'll have on teams and product.
Got it. When I look at products specifically with my limited understanding, I look at as a generate button or suppose a chat bot. So this is the visible side of AI. Do we have an invisible side of AI? Do we have something that we as end customers don't know about B2B SaaS, but there is something going on in the background? Can you shed light on it in simple terms so that users can understand? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it's true because I guess of the success of the first Gen AI products, everyone when they're thinking about AI, they're thinking about a chatbot. And that is the default that most teams go to and how they usually start integrating AI into their product. It is an option and it can be a good solution for some products. But if you're thinking of existing B2B products that have already been in the market before AI, your customers employ the product for a very specific task. They come to your product to get a problem solved, to get a task done. So, when you usually give them the chatbot, you're defaulting on them for them to know what to ask for, how to ask, and they might not even know what they need. So we have seen very successful types of AI deployment where the AI is invisible in the sense that the user doesn't have to prompt it. You, as the expert on your product and on your domain, you know exactly what your customers come for you to do. What is their goal? What is the outcome they're looking for? You also know how your product is best equipped to get them to that outcome. So you can use AI to get them there faster or easier. So we've seen this transition to more invisible AI being more powerful and having a bigger potential than just the chatbot. Of course, the chatbot still has its benefits.
Yeah. A lot of founders feel pressure to add AI to their product just because everyone else is doing so. What do you tell them?
Yeah, it is. The pressure is real. And whether it's, from the board, from investors, or just like from leadership, it's usually real. And that's why teams don't have this time to kind of experiment with the technology. So they quickly default to what is very familiar, like the chatbot. Let's add a chatbot so that our user can talk to the product. And what it also looks like is that there's very little validation even of, like what is this chatbot actually generating for the user? Not even thinking about the outcomes. Like we're adding this chatbot, but what do we actually want to empower the user to do with this chatbot? So before jumping to any solution that feels at hand, just to deploy something, we always encourage teams to take the time to experiment with the technology. And with Lovelaice, we've seen that with the right tool and the methodology, this creativity is unlocked in a way that just reading on LinkedIn or using AI products doesn't do it. So we had this one a CPO, he came to us with, of course, like, I'm looking to build this chatbot in my app. So we started an experiment together exactly with this use case. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see, like, what types of questions do you expect your user to ask? And which model best fits, how to kind of design this feature. And as he started to focus on one use case and seeing the results from the AI, reading actual results, that process unlocked this creativity like, oh, actually, instead of a chatbot, I could actually add this one kind of invisible feature that outputs this insight directly. Like, why wait for the user to ask this question when I know when I should surface this insight? So it's with this exercise of experimenting that you can get much more creative than just the chatbot or just AI for the sake of AI.
Yeah, got it. Where do you see Lovelace in 3 years? What are some value touch points that you look at? Some value proposition that you will be, the problems that you will be solving 3 years, 5 years down the line as AI evolves.
So we think of place of kind of how usage analytics in B2B SaaS were like 15 years ago, right? Before the amplitude and mixed panel and full stories of the world, decisions on product features were made based on opinions, based on leadership directions. There was very little data to measure the impact. We see Lovelace doing the same for product teams when it comes to AI. You can actually measure the quality of the AI in your use case, in your product. You can see how iterating on the prompt or making changes, upgrading to a new model, what is the exact impact on the quality, but also on the latency, on your cost. Because unlike traditional software, AI brings a cost with usage, right? The more you use it, the more it costs you. Today, there aren't teams that are looking at the cost element beforehand. They're sort of, let's build something, do something with AI, and then we'll figure out cost later. We see this as a missed opportunity to actually build a business case of where AI can actually bring value, and it's also sustainable for the business. So in the long term, we see Lovelace being the kind of the standard in building AI features sustainably and
Madalina, as an early stage founder, what is your outlook on marketing? Do you believe in inbound marketing, creating content and letting people reach out to you? Or do you believe in heavy outbound or a balance of both?
so I believe, of course, in these early phases, a lot of outbound is our main driving channel for now. But we have been committed to the content marketing, which I see it as a kind of a longer term lagging effect type of channel that is starting to compound. So both my co-founder and I were writing a lot of content to educate on this because it's also an evolving space, a new space. Teams are not yet aware of even the challenges or even that such product exists or exactly how their challenges could be solved. And that is not unique to their use case, but it's actually, it doesn't have to be this trial and error. You can actually build a systematic process around it. So this part is very important to us. We're also doing a lot of teachings, workshops, live sessions, which, it's kind of the compounding. So for now, we're doing the balance of both.
Yeah, that makes sense because I think if a product is early, customer education plays an important role in the early stages too. Got it. Another question is, what do you know now as a founder that you wish someone had told you before you started?
I guess, being a product person, I've always been so like I thought the product is 99% of the success, um in these early stages, I think what has really brought, growth for me and results was not to sit in the comfortable space, which is building product. It comes very natural to me, is my happy place, but actually going outside of your comfort and talking about what you're building in public, talking to people, talking with interesting people, getting feedback or see how others understanding your idea or understanding the space. These types of discussions and this type of activity, as uncomfortable has been, it has been the most rewarding and one that has allowed us to build such a comprehensive view versus where we started right now. I think it has made the biggest difference.
I think we'll be touching the 30-minute mark and there is no outage right now. In the end, I have a small rapid fire round that I usually do. And we'll be starting with 5 questions. You can give rapid answers as well as you can share your thoughts on it, anything. So the first one is one habit that made you a better founder.
Writing on LinkedIn, newsletters, writing. Yeah.
What do you do when you are completely stuck on a decision?
I usually like to distance myself from the topic and do something completely unrelated. Like usually a walk helps put things in perspective. Like I'm not actively thinking of the problem, but somewhere in doing like random unrelated activities, the new insight or some new perspective pops out. So taking some distance.
One question every product manager should ask before building any AI feature.
I build confidence that the AI is hitting the mark for my users.
Any book or podcast that has shaped how you think?
Book or podcast.
Anything.
So one book that is, of course, I read a lot of product books, but one book that has really shaped my thinking has been what I learned from investing from Darwin. It's an investment book about connecting to what seem unrelated topics, the evolution theory with investing. And it has been such an instrumental view of the world on how you can pull from different domains and enrich your understanding of the existing space you're in. I've grew up or kind of evolved in my career of trying to specialize in something, and that book has completely changed my mind on how you should be a generalist and kind of connect different topics together.
If you could give every founder one piece of advice about growing B2B SaaS today, what is it?
I don't think I'm I'm in any position to give advice. I think for now the what has really made a difference for me and for us, and something that has brought real results and changes into even our own perspective, has been writing about what we're building and talking to people about what you're building. So going from this, build in isolation and then do a big reveal, but rather talking constantly about what you're building and seeing how it resonates with your customers, with your partners, with others building in the space.
Right, perfect. So that is it, Madalina. Thank you so much for joining today. And I think I tell this to everyone, whoever I interview and talk to. There is a lot of founders I've been talking to recently across the world. And I learn a lot because every founder is coming from a different domain. You are coming from product management side. Some people are coming from tech, marketing, sales. So yes, that's been very inspiring for me in early stage too, learning a lot from founders. And thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I hope people would found that useful.
Thank you. This was really fun. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you so much.